Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath to you.
We're happy that we can be here
Amen.
and help you with your church project. Just a little quick background of why I'm involved heavily with Maranatha. God's been good to me. I should be a paraplegic, but he had other plans. I've had 2 rounds with Mother Nature, and she wins every time. It's not the fall that hurts, it's that sudden stop. That's the one that gets you. I was born and raised in Minnesota. That's how I met this gentleman back here. The Lord's been good to me in the fact that I've done so many different trades. And because of that, God has given me good health, and that I needed to return to him the favor that he's given to me for 85 years of health. Take no medication, take some vitamins.
Wow.
Because of that, I see the whole forest, not just a single tree. And so anyway, my first mission project was Levita Mission for 4.5 years. Adopted a baby Navajo girl. And it gets in your blood. Ask Jerry to tell you about that. So anyway, we're here helping with your church.
Praise the Lord.
I had a little difficult trying to figure out what to call my sermon today. And I came up with, Lord, not me. Have you ever been asked to do something? Maybe it was the nominating committee and asked you to carry a position in the church or in the community or something, and say, no, not me, Lord. So-and-so can do it better. So, with that, let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your guidance and protection. Thank you for your opportunity that you've given us to serve and be of service to others. Pray, Father, for this church here and its members as they reach out into their community through the opportunity that they have with their new church here on a busy highway rather than back in the corners of the woods, difficult to find. Thank you for loving us and giving us the opportunity to be your servants. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Can you think of some people in the Bible who said, Lord, not me? Well, I chose first off Moses.
Moses too, yeah.
You know, here he is. He had the highest education that was available at that time to be a leader. Then he messed up and he had to flee for his life. And so 40 years of learning in the palace, the Lord took 40 years to make him where he was teachable for another leadership job. And we find that there in Exodus 4, where God catches him out there and gets his attention. You know, the Lord uses some funny ways of getting our attention. Sometimes he has to lay us flat on our back and we got one place to look, and that's up. But he uses different things to get our attention. And so what does he do? A burning bush. Well, I don't know. Most all of us have curiosities. And so he went to investigate about this bush that wouldn't burn. And the Lord confronted him. I've got a job for you. I'll send you to Egypt. Oh, Lord, not me. I can't speak. I've forgotten the language. Comes up with all kinds of excuses. How often have we been asked do something. Well, my mother lived in Denver, and she had a desire to help the Indian mission. She would gather food and clothing and whatever and send it down to Levita. And one time she said, when you come to Denver this next time, we're going to go down to the Indian mission. I had no idea what Levita mission was. Only Indian work that I thought about was Monument Valley. I didn't even know about our school at Holbrook. But anyway, so one Sunday afternoon or morning we leave Denver, and it didn't take very long, and I realized we weren't heading towards Monument Valley. We were going somewhere else. And we ended up down at Levita Mission, 50 miles south of Farmington, New Mexico. And they didn't have the beautiful blacktop road that they have now. I mean, it was, you know, when you came to a fork in the road, you tried to see which way the most of the traffic went, because that's the road, the section you better take if you're going to get somewhere. And not only that, we had 2 nice washes to cross. And so when you got to Farmington and ready to return, you better look out south across the mesa and see what the weather looked like there. Because if it looked like it was raining, you better take a different route back than the way you went. Because at least you could get where you were across the wash and you could walk to the mission. Otherwise, you weren't going to get there. So anyway, went down there and saw the conditions that the girls were living in the old stone building there, dirt floor, bad conditions. Clinic wasn't finished, just had the exterior walls were up, the windows, it was dried in. No interior in it yet. And I said, well, I'm a builder, and I'll be back with my crew, and you get the plumbing and electrical in, and we'll sheetrock and float it and get it prepared so you can use it and get the girls out of the old trading post up into the building. And so I did that. I took my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my uncle, and we went out there for 2 weeks and accomplished that part of our mission. Never expecting to be back for 4.5 years. So I was asked, finally, I got a phone call from Dr. Williams and said, Dave, is there any chance that you can come out to the mission and take care of our construction needs and be boys' dean? We had 9 little boys. We lived in one of the classrooms with an 8-foot plywood wall between us. Anyway, no, I can't. I got the Briggs and Stratton dealership. I got a house I got supposed to build. You don't tell the Lord you can't. He has a way of taking care of those can'ts problems. My father-in-law had just moved off the farm into town, and he said, I need something to do. I'll take care of it. I'll take the Briggs and Stratton dealership. Number 1 off the list. About 3 or 4 weeks later, I get a call from the lady that I was to build a house for, and she had just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. There went my second one. I didn't have a third, so Lord took care of that, and so we went. Spent 4.5 years there. So, how about Gideon? He came, he said, I'm from the smallest tribe, the smallest household, and I'm the youngest in the family. And you got a job for me? He challenged the Lord a little bit, didn't he?
Yes, you
He
did.
said, Lord, I don't know. So he challenged him with the wool, remember? And No more took care of his excuses. Then there was Jonah. Oh, Lord, not me. Go to Nineveh? Come on. God took care of that too, didn't he? So, in Hebrews 11, we have a faith chapter, and we see all these people by faith, accepted the challenge. You know, Romans 12 gives us a list of gifts. What's your gift? Have you found it yet? Have you let the Lord reveal it to you yet? Well, God has a plan for each one of us if we're willing to accept and to listen. You know, we have to ask the Lord daily, open my eyes and my ears that I can see the needs that's around me. It's kind of interesting when a Maranatha project comes up and my name is on the list, somebody will call me and say, Dave, I'd love to come, but I haven't got any construction skills. What can I do? I said, there's only 3 requirements to be a Maranatha volunteer. Flexible, flexible, flexible. Because you never know what you're going to be doing from one day to the next. Rarely do you do the same thing from when you started and 2 weeks later when you leave. You've uncovered pretty much the whole gambit. So anyway, talent. What's your talent? Do you have 2, 3, 1? How many talents you got? How many talents do you need to be a worker for Christ? Well, I suppose probably the most important talent that you must have is willingness. God doesn't say, but you can't do this because you don't have this. God says, you do it and I'll give you the talent that's needed to do it. And you know what? The blessing is you can't outnumber it. How small is our world? Surprising. Well, at least we think it's small. I did a project in Portugal, about 90 miles north of Lisbon, Portugal. We have no medical work. We don't have in Portugal. It's a Catholic country, but two young doctors, a man and his wife, took the challenge. The conference had asked him, would you come and see if you can open a clinic? See if we can't get some medical work started here. And so they went. And in downtown Lisbon, they found a building on a nice, busy thoroughfare and started a medical clinic. Along with it is a health program. And it went over well. In fact, he developed a program that was so efficient and that it didn't cost him a dime to put it on. Businesses were sponsored it, and it has become the main health program over in that part of the country. So anyway, they'd been looking for years for a piece of property to build a lifestyle center. And they'd finally found a piece of property. We had some buildings on it. They'd been vacant for years. And they purchased it. Well, they called Maranatha and said, could you come and help us? So we went over 1 year, took a group, and basically we demoed that first year. Then the next year went over and did a double back to back. Had a group come in for 2 weeks, Sent them home one day, and next day brought in another group for 2 weeks. And it's a small world. The first year, right after that project in Portugal, I went up to Lone Star Camp in northern Minnesota, just 5 miles from the Canadian line, and we were building some cabins, a couple of cabins, and maintenance work around the camp, the youth camp. Friday afternoon, an elderly gentleman and his wife came in with a little teardrop trailer on the back of it, and went out and visited with them. And she was a doctor, and her husband was a retired minister, and she had a doctor friend in Canada just over the line that had maternity leave, and she came to visit, stay with her this other doctor for a while. And she said, "We heard that Maranatha was down here. We thought we'd come down and spend Sabbath with you." Small world. She and the doctor that I've been working with in Portugal went to school together in South Africa.
Wow.
Opposite sides of the world. And that's one thing about it. I don't care where you go. You get to visiting in the Adventist group, and pretty soon you know somebody in common. We, as a denomination, have something that no other denomination has. And it's because we're unity. We worship alike. We use the same Bible. We use the same Sabbath school lesson and so forth. And so because of that, we have common goals and meet people from. And you know, and what's interesting, I always look forward to when I get the printout from the Maranatha office of the people that signed up for my project. And it's, oh, let's see, where did we work together? Oh, you know, and it is just great to get together. And the Maranatha family is tighter bond than our church family, and many times our name family. We get to see church members in work clothes, not with our Sabbath fest, big smile on my face, and I got my Bible, I come to church, sit in this pew. You see it. We're rubbing shoulders 24/7. And nobody says, you know, if you go out on the street, I tell people, if I go out on the street and bring in the same people, same background, same nationality, same education, same profession, you know how much work I get to accomplish? All I'd hear is, I've never done it before, I don't want to get dirty, I'm overqualified. Did you go on the Maranatha project? What do we need to do today? Nobody asks the question. Nobody says, I can't. Show me, teach me. I'm here to learn. And because of it, we can turn the world upside down.
Amen.
You know, you come in and people, then the church has been talking about, oh, we got this group of volunteers going to come in and build us a new church. And here shows up, guess what? All these seniors, these old folks. You say, these are going to do what? But I tell you, it isn't but just a few days, and they're going by thumbs up. They can't believe what these old folks can do. And it's not because of their background, their talent, their skills. It's because they're there to help advance God's work.
Amen.
And because of that, there's a lot of them that have not said, not me, Lord.
Amen.
They've said, send me where you need me, and I'll go. And because of that, God's work is advanced.
Amen.
goes forward. It's just like here. Those of us are here are usually, even though it's not an official Maranatha project, we're Maranatha people, and
You're part of our family.
part of the family. Yes, we're family. We're a special family
Amen.
because we all have a common goal, and
Amen.
that's to forward God's work. So what does 1 Peter 4:10 says? Use your gift.
Amen.
Have you been using it? You know, how much time do you spend with your church family?
A lot.
If you're fortunate, you may have prayer meeting, may have fellowship dinner, and beyond that, sometimes you see more of your church family at Walmart or the filling station filling up the gas.
I see my sister.
Where with Maranatha, it's 2 works of push for shove.
Oh my goodness.
And we're ready, by the end of 2 weeks, we're used up. We've got into our reserve real deep. But we go home feeling blessed that we've had the safety on the job, that God's given us the talent, the energy to do what He wants us to do. And because of that, we look forward to where's the next project? Will it fit in my schedule? Can I make it? And Jerry's just doing this. But back here, he has no strings attached, so to speak. He's free to come and go, and so he's been making them. I took my first Maranatha project on vacation time when I retired from the hospital for 25 years in hospital engineering. I carried electrical and mechanical contractor's license for 35 years. Finally let them go a couple of years ago. But God has given me the opportunity to use the abilities that I've gained over all the years and use it in His service and to be a blessing to others. And how is there an age you're too old? We have a couple sisters. They were, how old were they? Pushing 90, weren't they?
Yeah.
And would you like to guess where one of them preferred to work?
In construction.
On the roof.
Oh.
On the roof. The first job that she came on with me, and I said, "Where would you like to work?" She said, "On the roof." I looked at her and I thought I was
You ought to know.
hearing wrong. I said, "Okay, I'll put you on the roof, but I'm going to watch you, and if I see any problem, I'm going to bring you down off that roof." I tell you, she would outwork a man. She'd get up there and she'd hand shingles or tear off, like even old roof, tearing off roof. She'd just get in there with the old bar just to tear off shingles, and that's where she worked. And we went on the project this last year at Leone Meadows, California's Southern California youth camp, just prior to the convention. And they've got a zip line high. They have a power swing. I tell you, that little old lady, she couldn't hardly get up to hook onto the zip line, but she was there. and she weighed so little that she didn't have enough weight to make it all the way to the other end. And they had to go out on the line to get her to pull her in the rest of the way. But anyway, you're never too old. As long as you're not too young. You know, I had the fortune of first starting out with Maranatha with the family projects. Mom or uncle or grandpa or grandma would take the kids. Then I graduated from that one to Ultimate Workout. I'll guarantee you, those kids come home changed kids. Best thing we ever did as an organization was with Ultimate Workout. Take them out in the boondocks, and I mean put them in the rough stuff. After fifth time around, I finally had to tell Steve Case, I said, I love your projects. I get along great with the kids, but I said, my body is not designed for your 5-star accommodations. So, does God have a job for you? You better believe He's got a job for you. You just have to say, yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
I'm here. And not say, not me, Lord. God has a job.
Yes.
He has a plan. That's why we're here. And it's to spread the gospel by whatever means we have or need, wherever the need might be. It might be the person that showed up at your door and needed some water or a sandwich or shoes on their feet. But you're God's workman, and He will bless whatever you do and make it work. Thank you. Our closing hymn here.